Okay, we are live, and I honestly, when I started my channel, I want to talk about difficult topics. I don't think a lot of people on YouTube want to cover this type of stuff, but a lot from the fan. I'm not saying everyone. A lot from the Fandom Menace say, why do they always consider us toxic or that we're bullies and stuff? So we're going to examine it. And I was struggling to come with a fair and balanced view. So I got my great friend, Darth Lunga, Darth Daddy. And he's also going to talk about that he has a one-on-one with Matt Jarbo this Sunday and how he wants it to go down too. So we're going to try to I'm not going to try to accuse people, but I think his video that he did was a really hard look, a revealing look at some things going on and why the perception of the Fandom Menace is going this way. And I gotta address this comment, Lethal, because watch this. Before you even made a comment, I had some special images created for this topic, and it's gonna blow your mind. And maybe I'm on to something. You see the speculating mind? I get things right sometimes. I get it right sometimes. So let's take a look at this here. You'll be surprised. Okay. All right. So was I hot? Was I on to something?
Yeah, but you got all the muscles. Where's Ryan? Well, Ryan's the muscle man.
Yeah, oh, I did forget. Well, you know what? I
He's
think
the muscle man.
I think see the thing. I think the main culprits are of this Geeks and Gangbangers. No.
I know.
We're trying to have fun with a difficult.
Yeah. I'm just picking on how they all mess with them about the muscle shirt.
Right. Yeah. I don't think the muscle part is accurate. And I did put Odin's head on a lady. Maybe that was a little too far. I'm sorry, Odin. I can't resist because you know why. I too, and I noticed this about. I think maybe he doesn't see him. Possibly, to be devil's advocate, maybe he doesn't realize
he's the bearded lady.
Yeah, I get. Hey,
I love you, Odin.
We're open to all kinds of people on YouTube. So Odin,
hey, what did they say? Just like when you had Walton on, he's like, if you can't laugh at yourself,
right. So I think what your video was so revealing. I loved it. I love this type of. This is the type of. When people say you're just hating on us, no, I wish you success, all of you guys in this picture in the future. I want to be criticized myself. Like I told, I do have to address something right away because oh
yeah, what's up with the
okay,
Jeremy
I did not ban Jeremy, but if any of my mods do, that's not cool. I don't know if you can unban someone. Listen,
I don't know how StreamYards works, so
right. So I did not give the okay to that. I do not agree with that. He can say let me in, and I'll just say no. But he has that is censorship. The only time I want people to be banned is if they're spamming stuff. I don't like censorship, but banning them because it's causing problems with the conversation. People can't talk in the chat. Or
right.
they're spamming stuff that could actually get the stream taken down. Because if you spam nasty crap in the chat, Star Wars only.
Hey, Star Wars only.
He's giving a shout out to Darth Barbie. Okay, Star Wars only. All right, so let's get
you have control. Take a look in your settings. See if there's something in there about
I don't know. Honestly, you know I'm. Oh shoot. All right, I'm a noob to settings. I have to figure out mod stuff because I know how to make people mods, but I don't know how to unban someone.
There's got to be a way.
Yeah, I know. Does anyone know how to unban? Because I don't think we should.
I tried Googling it, but it didn't pull up any real results. So
yeah, so I don't know who did that. I will address it, Jeremy, if it has happened, and that's not cool. Like I will not have you on my stream if someone's not prepared for it. And I don't want to battle you every day, but hey, I'll be the first to admit you're the most relevant person in this Star Wars YouTube with the battles going on in the fandom. So is that fair or not? That's why I have Darth Lunga on. But I don't agree with banning him from the chat unless he's doing spamming and stuff. And I haven't seen that yet. I think he's been, to be fair to him, I think so far in the chat, the only thing that I was kind of like iffy on is let me on. And I am a culprit of that myself in the past, to be fair too. I'm trying to get away from that because it can make people uncomfortable. I know I did that to you, Jeremy. I know I did that to you. Here's another image I did. That is exactly what Lethal was doing. Warriors, come out to play. This is the perception of the Fandom Menace. It is. We have no leaders. You jump together like ride or die, like Lunga said, ride or die. And then when something happens, when you're called out for something, we have no leaders. Where's your proof? And then it's not our responsibility to heal the fandom. I'll tell you what, I think you can understand me and Lunga. It's a hard responsibility, but we're trying. We're not saying no. I think I don't want to.
There he is. He's in there. Jeremy's chatting in there. You're not banned.
All right.
Just send me a link. You're not stealing my thunder, Jeremy. This is my show tonight with Max. Don't send me a link. Maybe later.
No, this is just the one-on-one. This is also to get eyes on Darth Lunga's interview Sunday and how it's going to be a one-on-one. If Matt decides, whatever Matt decides, that's his decision. You can't put that on the host of someone having a one-on-one.
No. I mean, I'll just so if anyone asks or anyone wonders, when I talk to Matt on Sunday, it's literally we just talked. Me and Matt said, hey, you know what? I just come on, we'll talk some Star Wars. So that's the whole intent. That's the whole point of it. It's just talk Star Wars, geek out, this and that. Now, let's be fair. There's a lot of drama going on with him,
right.
Not even just Jeremy. There's a lot of drama going on with him, obviously with the mecha thing. Okay, so I mean, will it come up? Maybe it could possibly come up. That's not the whole point of the stream, but it can come up. Okay, and if people's names come up, I understand people when they hear their name, they want to be able to defend themselves. I get it. This stream isn't about that. I'm not setting up a cage match where people come on.
I mean, there might be times for that. Hopefully not a cage match.
Right. Now, if anyone, Jeremy, here's his name, and he wants to come on my stream to rebut later, that's perfectly fine. If Matt and whoever both say, hey, we want to come on to talk, I'll moderate that. That's fine. But Sunday stream, it's not about that. So I don't want to hear someone's running or someone's hiding or protecting. It's not like that at all. It's just that's not what Sunday stream is about, and I'm not gonna entertain that. At a later date, if parties involved decide they want to come on mine or anyone else's, whatever, that's understandable and it's fine. But I'm not gonna entertain that because I'm not having Matt on for that reason. So just keep that in mind. But if you guys want to have a voice with me on my show in response later, another day, that's welcome as well too. I'm not gonna say no. He can say that something, but you can't. I'm not like that.
All right, now I'm gonna bring up my thumbnail again because I don't use this picture of Matt crying lightly because he is my friend. Lots of people are my friends in all sides of this community. So I don't put that lightly. And I'm not just singling out Jeremy and Geeks and Gamers and the Fandom Menace. A lot of YouTubers might play nice guy about it, but I think the end result, and also viewers, we're part of the problem ourselves. Do we want to see that happen? Because it is internet gold. In the likelihood of it happening, I'm not saying Matt can't defend himself, and I hope he's not upset with me using him. Because you know what? If you search Matt Jarbo crying, there's a long list. There's also kind of hate and music videos about him, which I'm not sure, Jeremy, but it's possible you retweeted it. And what's the first thing that happens when he goes off is there's all kinds of tweets about him running. So that kind of shows the intention. To me, in my view, I could be wrong. I'd like to get your. I idea on that. To show the reaction is as soon as it happens, that there's tweets everywhere. Oh, look at them run, look at them run. So is this the end of the result, what people are wanting? And is this why people perceive your movement or your brand as haters? But that's not just who Jeremy. This is a YouTube problem. This is not just Jeremy. This is YouTube viewer. And
yeah, because I mean, there's people that went after Jarbo that aren't Fandom Menace. It's not
right. It's not
like it's unique or just about the Fandom Menace. It's other people have done it too.
Right. So I don't like to use people, like there's also a lot of I do know for sure that a lot of thumbnails in this movement use the screaming SJW. Like constantly. Has that woman got enough? I mean, that's my viewpoint. Maybe I gotta get a Darth. Seriously.
I'm sorry. Here's the thing. I don't like it. I think
right.
Like, but this is.
But I mean, at this point,
it's horrible. But I can't ever not look at it and not laugh. It's just
no. To me, it bothers me. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Well, I can be bothered and still. I have humor sometimes, and it's just something tickles my funny. You know, people who laugh at funerals, it happens sometimes. It's not,
right.
No, that's not me advocating to say it should be continued to be propagated. That's not what I'm saying. But
I mean, it's go. In my opinion, my perspective is it goes past the point when you actually see pain in the person's face.
Yeah.
It's not like they actually believe that. So if they actually believe that, you're mocking them being in a pain or crying. Were they ridiculous for being in that much pain because Trump is president? Yeah, exactly. They are being ridiculous. But if they really felt that in their heart, and then you constantly use it, does it go? This is the argument. I'm not saying I'm 100% right.
Right.
I struggled with this topic. That's why Darth Long is here. That's why
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm the same way. It's at the end of the day, like here, no, I don't believe people should have to walk on eggshells. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Okay. But at the same time, if we have the power not to make people suffer more, I mean, it's not up to, even if we think it's ridiculous. I was on that stream the other night with whatever her face was. You know, we do not have the right to judge how someone else is being offended. Now, again, if they try to legally or with laws to stop, you know, I'm against that. But, you know, we can't say or mock someone's suffering in any way, shape, or form. It's to me, it just, at the end of the day, this is what ends up happening at the end of the day. You look like a shitty human being. Right. Okay. And mind you, we're all guilty of it. I've done it. You know what I mean? I've done it before. And it took me a lot of growing to get to the point where I'm not like that, you know? But we want to try at least just have some kind of compassion for other human beings, not just human beings that agree with you, or human beings that react to things like you. You know what I mean? Some people are more sensitive. Yeah. There shouldn't be laws forcing us to be nice, but at the same time,
I agree. I don't think the videos should be banned. But I also think I think just like your right to make it, it's my right to critique it and examine it. And I think more people should. And I think something I saw in Darth Lunga is he's willing to have those. These are difficult discussions. These are things that people want to stray away from. And another thing is a lot of arguments I get from the Fandom Menace is, why do they block us? This could be part of the reason. I don't like censoring people and I don't like blocking people. But I am going to cover the hot topics here. Maybe I'll have Lunga on again. I'm not sure. I mean, I know I will, but I'm not there. I'm also going to talk about why people think the Fandom Menace get into racism. And I'm trying. It's going to be a hard one. That's a minefield. That's a minefield to navigate.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Because it is a minefield. It is a minefield, and that's because I could even not knowing all of them, I could say most likely the vast majority of them aren't.
Right.
You know what I mean? The vast majority of them aren't. So, you know, even anyone in any way doing a blanket statement saying it's a racist organization is ridiculous, because it's not. That's, that's when people start taking, that's when we start taking what you think is your sensitivity and trying to apply it to someone else in their intent and motives. And that's where the issue happens. But it's just this very thin line where we can still stand by our convictions and beliefs without being a complete asshole. You know what I mean? It's not an easy line to toe. It's not an easy line to do.
It's opinion. It's an opinion.
Right. It is opinion. You know what I mean? I've lately just gotten to the point to where, like, listen, we agree, you're saying this, I don't really subscribe to that, but I can understand maybe why you do. And that's where I try to leave it. You know what I mean? I don't try to belittle it. I don't try to belittle them. You know what I mean? It's because, even B-level, when we had that damn discussion, I was going hard on him, but I wasn't like trying to like belittle him. I could have said a lot of things that were harsh if I wanted to. And I didn't, because at the end of the day, even though he was an annoying little shit, he's still a human being.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I also address, people said, why are you going to let him talk like that? I'm not, listen, I want to have people on, but I also, if it's not going anywhere, I wanted to shut that down. I was like,
Oh no, I
was like, this isn't going anywhere. I want the conversation to be a little bit on the side of progress. We can have some fun. It could get heated a little bit, but if it's to the point like that, I'm like, like I said, you could be on my channel again, but I'm not hosting a debate on my channel again. And I only did that for him because I knew but
you saw what it was. It wasn't a debate. It was, he wanted, for his few fans, he wanted to show, look how tough I am. I'm going to challenge these Nazis. That's what it was about. That's what he wanted to do. And to his little echo chamber, they thought, oh, you showed them, but the other 95% of people in the world and watching were like, you look like an idiot. So
I have issues with Jeremy and it's my opinion, okay? But I never want Geeks and Gamers or him to be canceled off the internet.
No.
And the only thing I think if you do go the way of critique, the only thing you can ask is for someone to try better or evaluate themselves, or maybe they don't agree with you, but say, okay, whatever.
Even though I didn't agree, even though, there's a lot of the things about Disney Star Wars that I do like that they don't. I didn't like The Last Jedi, which is almost a lot of people did not like it. Okay, let's put it that way. But there's a lot of things about it that I'm not as negative about. Okay. But here's the thing, their platform and their voices are still important because they are still representing a chunk of the fan base, and them being able to voice what they feel is right or wrong, or what, Disney may or may not be doing towards the franchise needs to be heard. I don't have any qualms about that at all. I don't think at the end of the day, it comes down to opinion. So I can't say their opinion is wrong. It's an opinion. It's no more right or wrong than mine is. So it deserves to be there. It deserves a platform. I just think it can be done without as much belittling of people, as it can be done. Again, I'm not pointing out any specific one person or one.
Oh, you know what? Geeky Candy, would we be okay with Geeky Candy? She is
listen, how I am. I don't care who comes on.
Right.
It doesn't bother me. Because
she says I never sent her links, and she's true. That's right. I just never. If you want to come on, you could come on. I wasn't really wanting it. I was trying to cover a hot topic, and I needed help with it. That's why Longa's here.
It's your show. It's your show. It's completely up to you. I have no worry about any. Shit. Even though he'd annoy me, even if you brought B-level back in, I'd stay. So
all right.
you can bring in whoever you want. It's your show.
I wasn't planning on it, but she's a nice person. You know what? I'll do it. I don't want to be on too late either. So, but you know what? We got to be. I got to try to be as fair as I can.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll send.
Like I said, that's fine with me. You don't have to worry about me.
I know. I'm not up for a Jeremy debate tonight because he brings it. He brings the heat, and I can't do that every time for my own mental health. I can't do it every time. Even though I'm talking about him, you're relevant. Maybe that he says you talk about me, I'm winning. So I guess you're winning. I did send you, if you want to, Geeky Candy. It's up to you. I like Drunk, and I have a friendship with Entertainment Hacker, but
Jeremy.
Yeah,
you weren't
are.
the only one in the thumbnail. So was 3PO. So was Odin. So was an Entertainment Hacker. You weren't the only one.
All right, let's bring on Geeky Candy. Okay, she is here. Hey, Geeky Candy. This is the first time we've talked. Hi.
Hello. Welcome. First time meeting you.
Guys talking about tonight. I am so sorry. I am in late, so I missed a little bit. But once I saw you guys were live, man, I hopped over here quicker than.
That's fair. We were talking about the perception of the Fandom Menace, because a lot of times when you start critiquing them, a lot of people in the Menace, just like our pal Drunk 3PO, is like, why are you painting with a broad brush, bro? Well, what are a lot of the brushes doing? That's what
first of all, I just want to say I'm really sorry that my avatar is looking at you so squirrely like.
I'm sure a lot of people are. No, you don't have to apologize.
I don't have that expression on my face at the moment, but
okay, good.
Just thought I'd put that out there so no one thinks negatively of me.
Sure.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I mean, I know I showered, so okay. So
there you go.
Shouldn't be cussing anybody.
Nice. Oh, we got Gary in the chat too. What's up, Gary?
Oh, Nerdrotic. Whoa.
Damn.
Oh. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Nerdrotic. Hey, you know what? As much as I criticize you guys, I'm subscribed to all of you. If anyone's noticed,
yeah,
I subscribe to everybody.
You're pretty much our number one fan, and we're cool with that.
I really there's a lot of people that critique the Fandom Menace. Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm new to the game, but I'm learning.
Okay, but my goal is not to destroy them completely.
Right.
And when Jeremy, I'm not even partially, okay.
Just tickle him.
Just
tickle him.
Oh yeah, I could tickle. just critique.
Oh.
Hey, if you tickle someone long enough, it could technically be torture. So
yeah, it could. That's some fucked up shit.
Just critique them.
I don't judge your kink, man. You know, do you?
Don't bring up the word kink with me. Just
yeah, you don't know. Okay. You don't know, geek.
my world is.
That's a whole nother video.
Yeah. I can't have that enter my YouTube life.
Damn. All right. Well, continue.
Well, it's not to destroy people. I say cancel the menace, and I say it. I use what you call yourselves identify as marketing to say cancel the menace on all sides of the fandom. I don't mean exclusively to the menace. So that was Jeremy's trying to get me to say that when he came on my stream before. I think he is being fair. I think I changed my perception to Jeremy to the point where when he originally was doing the hater stream, I was more intense at him, mainly because we had Twitter battles. But after seeing how he's conducted himself, I think he is trying to handle his critics in as fair way as he can with his personality.
I mean, Jeremy is Jeremy. And I've only known the guy for, a few months. I've been watching a lot of the channels, including his, for a while now. And since I've been watching, I'd say since probably summer of last year is when I kind of got involved in the fandom on the more the lurker side than the actually involved in content creating side. I never noticed a change in him from that time. And even when he reached out to me to become part of Geeks and Gamers, never, ever changed. And he reached out to me when I was like at 750 subs. Like I was a nobody, and I still am kind of a nobody, but I'm a little less of a nobody. And, he saw something in me and I thought that was kind of cool. And, I love being a part of the Fandom Menace because it was so inclusive for a person like me. That usually when I say opinions that I have about stuff, people look at me and think that I'm weird. And I found myself being included in a lot of the groups in the fandom. So it's hard for me to I can understand other people having negative perspectives on certain people in the fandom, but my overall experience has been nothing but positive, and that's why I was so excited to be a part of Geeks and Gamers, because just from what my perspective and what my involvement has been, very positive, and I really I like the family that I've gotten from it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I
That's great to
could just
hear.
say, I mean, I could say just knowing how at least how me and Max feel about things. Me and him, none of us are saying that, you know, anyone, at least, you know, the content creators and the known names of the Fandom Menace, none of us are saying that they're horrible people or bad people. You know, I don't feel that way. I think like Max feels the same way. The only thing we've ever talked about is just, you know, certain aspects and certain methods to get the point across. So it's not the people saying they're horrible people and they need to shut up and go away and die. You know, that's not what we're thinking.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, you know, even a lot of people, you know, with the Gray Order that we're doing, we don't feel that way. Because there's a lot of people in the Gray Order who, believe it or not, feel the same way about the movies that the Fandom Menace does. You know what I mean? So there's not that much of a separation. It's just more about.
And by the way, I subbed to the Gray Order, and I am on Geeks and Gamers. So if that makes me an anomaly, then so be it. But I play nice, and I appreciate fandom in all of its perspectives and opinions.
Yeah.
Unless you're a really big creep and you stalk people and you do weird shit, then I'm like, okay, I'm out. But overall, if you are passionate about something that I'm passionate about, I can disagree. There's plenty of people in your chat that I was disagreeing with,
Sure,
but I never really like. I don't take it to that next level, and I've been pretty lucky on Twitter.
And I let it go.
Nobody's really done that to me yet either, so I'm kind of skirting by a little bit. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, my past isn't clear either. Lunga's addressed that to me personally and privately too. He's like, you gotta try better. He's helping me out. I'm trying to be more fair. It's hard to be fair and balanced. He's really trying to help. He's actually a real friend outside of this too. So I was struggling with this one. I want the reason this is a topic of discussion is whenever there's a little bit of a push on the Fandom Menace, they're like, why do you call me this, bro? Why are you doing this? I love drunk, but on that stream, the other's like, well, why are you doing this? Wow. This is what's happening. What happened with the entertainment hacker and him in Odin, it's a little bit of poking at people and guests.
Yeah.
And then Jeremy is right there. And to be fair,
there's a lot of people I see defending themselves and their position on things.
Right.
And it ends up kind of happening over and over and over again.
Right.
I can say regarding, I've met Jay Drunk personally. I actually hung out with him in Orlando in December.
Yeah, I saw the tweets.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I have that guy's back. He's a genuinely good person. Odin, I've hung out with plenty of times on streams. Genuinely a good person. And honestly, I can say that about all the people in Geeks and Gamers, which I know a lot of people probably disagree with, but the interactions I have with all of them, I'm new here, but every interaction I have had, they continually push me up. They push other people up who are maybe their sub count is low, and they don't look at that as an indicator of value to who you are. They just see who you are, and that is your value. And it's really nice. It's really nice. Now, I understand everyone's got beef. Everybody has beef with certain people, and disagreements can get big. You know, they can become bigger than they really were to begin with. But it saddens me when people do paint with broad brushes over the Fandom Menace, because they obviously haven't met a lot of us.
Okay,
that's why talked about.
Honestly, when I saw your tweet, I'm like, yeah, I think she's a good representative of the Fandom Menace. I think that's why I'm like, okay. And Jeremy, I'll tell you what,
Jeremy brought me on though, and that's the thing. A lot of people, he's bringing people like me and others on that might surprise people. That's all.
Okay. I'll be honest. I can only handle Jeremy at certain times for my health. He's an intense guy, which it's good too. It gets conversation started. I'm his biggest critic, I think. So
you were, and now hold on.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying. Yes.
When I think you guys might appreciate this. When we started talking, what was the first thing I was telling you? I'm like, do not concentrate on Jeremy 24/7.
Right.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah, like the very first stream I ever watched of yours over on Gray Order, Jeremy's name got brought up by the guy that you were interviewing. I'm like, why is he talking about him in here? Like, I just was confused because the conversation was really interesting, and that guy had a lot of great perspective because I've never heard of him before, and I just enjoyed him on your channel. But then Jeremy's name came up, and I was like, why is this the thing? Like, and then people in the chat were just like railing on him. And I'm like, okay, I don't understand that, but again, everyone's got their beef. I just don't get that part of it, I guess.
Which stream? Mine or Max's?
It was on yours.
Yeah, you're talking about like my very first one?
No, the one that was like a few days ago.
Okay. Well, he's relevant. It's relevant.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Someone gets big.
He mentioned it because Ahsoka came up. Ahsoka Tano came up, and he mentioned that it was that Jeremy didn't even like Ahsoka Tano in the beginning because it's hard for him to like a female lead, or something along those lines. I don't know.
I disagree with that comment. That's
it was really weird, and I'm like, Jeremy likes a lot of female leads. It's just not. But people concentrate on the fact that he didn't like Captain Marvel. That's it. I mean, he really didn't like Captain Marvel. Guess what? I'm a girl, and I didn't care for Captain Marvel much either.
My daughter hated Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it felt very one note. I like complex female characters, which is a really hard thing to write because they're real when they're written that way.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's tough as a girl in sci-fi, especially. You don't see a whole lot of really complex female characters these days. Right now with writing, it's tough.
Right.
I like them like that though. Like The Expanse. I like The Expanse. The writing in The Expanse is fantastic.
I love The Expanse.
Right?
That show is spectacular.
Doesn't it it walks the line, balances things so perfectly when it comes to like politics and gender and equality and everything. And it does it in a way that isn't offensive, that's relatable. And it's honestly, it's magic how they do it. I don't know how they do it.
And it shows how all of them are flawed. Because we're all human, and everyone at some point, there's all those different factions are evil at some point. Yeah,
pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, but we understand the point of their evil, and it's relatable. It's not necessarily justifiable, but it's understandable.
I'm so glad you brought up that point, because this is kind of a segue that sometimes, like, especially when we talk about the OPA, okay, because a lot of people saw the OPA as just violent and saw them as mean, and and to them it's like we're protecting our own, we're protecting our family, we're protecting our lives. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the same kind of feeling a lot of people have been having about the Fandom Menace, where you guys internally, just like the OPA does, it's like, what are we doing? We're just we're protecting our own. We have family, we have loved ones, we have friends, and we're protecting our own. But to everyone else, the perception was another way. And some people in the OPA did some shitty things.
Are you saying that we are the ones that are hurling space rocks on Earth right now? Are we the ones to blame? Is that what
you're hurling something.
we're hurling space boulders. Okay.
But you see what I'm saying? I mean, I love the OPA, and I love the way it was presented. You know what I mean? Because you saw the struggle. You saw the struggle that they felt severely, like everybody's against us, so they did what they felt they had to. But you had some people who were more moderate minded, and then you have some people that were just more very, very, very radical. And it's kind of what happens in the Fandom Menace, because you guys are a loose organization. Everybody thinks for themselves, so some people present things differently than others. And there's a broad brush that's painted sometimes. But what I've tried saying before to other people, the reason why is a broad brush, and I know you guys always say there's no leadership, and no one controls the Fandom Menace. People say what they want to, but when you're talking about the following, not the main content creators, okay, when you talk about the following, just like in any kind of following, a lot of people that do that usually do that because they're looking to someone to look up to and someone to speak for them. And sometimes a lot of these people, because of their, I
agree. That's
of their structure.
I followed a lot of the channels because I felt like they were voicing opinions that I wish I could, and now I do.
Right, but a lot of times people, and again, this is on both sides, because people on the the SJW side of things obviously do the same thing. Okay, they listen to their leaders, and then they start coming up with this crazy shit. And the Phantom Menace isn't, doesn't, if it happens to the Phantom Menace too, you have certain people, elements in there that, not saying you guys endorse it, but that say some crazy shit. And it starts to grow. And while you guys do call out individuals who are, extremely bad, and it's like, no, we don't endorse that. We don't agree with that. But there's a very hard circling of the wagons, which is what I was talking about when it comes to like the OPA. You know what I mean? It's
Do you think that the power that is given, though, to say a so-called leader of the Fandom Menace is an inherently owned one, or one given to them by people who criticize them?
Again, I'm not saying I'm not
putting them on a pedestal of sorts because of the quantity, the amount of times that the name's mentioned.
There are leaders that become default leaders, even if you don't ask for it. When usually in any kind of movement, let's call it a movement, okay? Because movements generally don't usually have a leader,
Yeah, that's how we define ourselves, is as a movement.
Right. Which is what TGO is doing, the same thing. It's a movement, okay?
Okay.
So there's no defined leaders, okay? There are still rallying points. There are people that, the following are going to regurgitate and, bring the talking points of certain select individuals that they consider the loudest voices, and they're going to adopt those views. Okay. And so even though there's no leader, you can't forget the fact that you are still impressing onto other people things, that they're going to look to you in a leadership role, even if you're not technically a leader. You see what I'm saying?
I'd like to say that there's a lot of those in the Fandom Menace, though.
Yeah.
There's not
And I'm not saying it's one person. It's not one person. I mean, you can go across the board.
And regarding Geeks and Gamers, I'll just say we have a really great communication network where all of us involved, we share a lot of things that we find, on the internet. And a lot of times the videos that you see, it isn't necessarily the person that found that first, or that was going to do a video on that first, or anything like that. It's just something that we all collectively find and share. And it's just kind of, it's interesting because the person you see talking about it just happens to be who was there at the time that could put the video out. You know what I mean? So, it's hard for me from behind the scenes in terms of working with Geeks and Gamers. We all have differences of opinions on things, but we all like bringing something to the table. Right. And so if Geeks and Gamers is generally being looked at as a voice or as a leader, or Jeremy in particular, it's just, there's a lot of people behind us that give us information, and those are all it's all filtered through. And it's just kind of like, again, that kind of goes towards it being more of a movement than a singular entity, because it's a flow of thoughts and opinions that managed to make it onto a video. It didn't just come from one person. Usually
the example I'm giving here, and it's just because this is piggybacking on the video I did. Like, if you notice, I'm not like talking about Jeremy a lot. I don't really mention Jeremy's name that often.
I probably need to work on that.
Yeah, you need to work on it.
Hey, it's a new year, Max. Right. We can totally put up some resolutions tonight and let the world know what we're going to do this year.
I'm not going that far, but I'll try.
I'm giving you the opportunity.
I only have a couple videos that deal with Fandom Menace related things. Okay. And the first video I did about it was about the 501st, but it wasn't a video about the Fandom Menace. It was a video about two people. It was about Mike, who wrote the article, and Walton, who drew the logo. I was just talking specifically about those two people. And now there's some stuff's opinion, some stuff, I look at it and like, this is how I view it. And then the wagon circling started. Okay. And what I mean by the wagon circling is everybody, all these Fandom Menace people, and I mean, everyone, no one is 100% right. But when the following of the Fandom Menace thinks that the leaders or the big names or anyone you talk about in the Fandom Menace is always 100% right. You know what I mean? And it's like, you could say, you know what? I don't see it that way, but it's like, it's like people just coming at me. You don't know what you're talking about. You're completely wrong. You don't understand this and you don't understand that. It's like, come on. dude. It's a matter of opinion. Don't tell me what I don't understand or don't understand.
Exactly. I feel like a lot of the things we do is a matter of opining versus fact, finding. I mean, we like to opine.
Well,
Yeah.
Look at this image I made.
Here we go.
Before and then Lethal was at the beginning of the stream. Warriors come out to play. So am I on to something? Is this the perception?
Hey, missed opportunity here. You totally could have put Uche on one of those two handsome dudes in the back.
I know. I didn't.
I feel like this is you picked all the white dudes, but you left out the African American one. So I don't know what that says about you, Max. But
I told him he's missing Ryan because Ryan's always with the multi-shirt.
It was getting late, and I was like, I'm done with this. But the reason I included Jeremy, they're self-explanatory. He's a topic of discussion, even if I admitted it. I admit he's relevant.
Like I say, I love the expression on his face.
The reason I included Odin, Drunk, and Entertainment Hacker is my criticism of Odin is he likes to poke at a lot of live streams and comment sections. Mm-hmm. And then my criticism with Drunk and Entertainment Hacker, the Entertainment Hacker, I want to talk about fishing. Stay to talk about fishing, Jarbo, was pretty lame. I think we all know what happened there. And then Drunk, I think he was handling the conversation well, but he's like, oh, Jeremy wants to come on. And I think I was trying to, also with the Drunk stream, oh, that would be fun too, Drunk. But when Drunk was on my stream, I was trying to end it too, and it kind of got extended because the possibility of Jeremy coming. And this is not an isolated to Geeks and Gamers and the Fandom Menace. Everyone wants to get that Jarbo. Everybody. I believe it. It's not exclusive. He is internet gold right now. If you get him, look at all the memes.
Clicks, man. It's clicks.
Look, but
I mean, why do you put Jeremy on a thumbnail? It's the same sort of thing. Let's be honest with ourselves.
You're right. You're right. But here's where my opinion comes in. The line. I don't want to move the goalpost constantly. My saying is don't move the goalpost, but still aim for the goal. I think the goalpost argument is a lot of times brought up, so you don't have to play that game. So you don't have to. I still think we should strive for progress, and I think that's the middle road. Is don't keep moving the goalpost, but still play the game.
Hey, I'm on a stream with you two. I find that to be a damn fine middle road. I'm not
accusing you.
I'm on with you too. I am the middle road.
Going to pass the line for me personally is the images. Like I did not want to. I really debated whether I should put the Jarbo crying in my thumbnail because I hate that. When I see that on YouTube, it makes me sick that people want to see that. People do want to see that. And that's not isolated to Geeks and Gamers. That's not isolated to Fandom Menace. That's a YouTube problem. But I have
to say one thing, though. The crying out SJW that we all were talking about earlier, I have no sympathy for that. I think because honestly, like she could monetize that to the end of the earth if she wanted to. She really could, and if she chooses not to, then she's probably in a point where she's fine with it. But you know what I mean? Like I don't think I don't know. I think she's a piece of Americana. She's like modern Americana at this point. Like you can't. She defines. She defines 2016.
Was that her intention when that happened?
I have no idea, but there were there's cameras everywhere,
right?
And if you're going to be in a public vicinity, you know,
if you freak out in public, that's your fault, and you should monetize it in the future.
Okay.
She does. She's not on YouTube. She's not on YouTube.
Do we know anything about her?
I know she's. I know. Right.
Google her and just
right. But this is where it's saying this is my goalpost.
But I'm pretty sure she's been part of some activist group in some way.
Right. Okay, so that's my personal goalpost. That's my opinion. I'm open to a different side of the argument, but that's where I get like, oh, I don't like this.
No, you do that well, and you do present a valid argument to some extent. I'm just saying my personal.
Just like I see, I like Jarbo as a person, and when I see crying people in a thumbnail, it sickens me. And I think that's where we were circling the wagons. We were trying. I'm not saying that was definitely his intention because I can't judge someone's intentions, but I think the possibility is there. And that's not just Jeremy. I think lots of YouTubers want to catch Jarbo in this situation. It's not isolated to him.
Yeah.
And that's why this is why this is relevant.
If he comes out swinging, though, people and he has a following, and that following will attack other people or call out other people because they hear it from Jarbo himself. Then what say you about them defending themselves or preemptively defending themselves because they know what's coming?
Well, here, let me elaborate on that. Now, some people, everyone's built differently. Okay, me, I'm the idiot that will come on and argue with anybody. Okay, I'm that idiot. I'm the one that'll come on here and argue with anybody, and that's why people think I'm when B-level saying you're raging. It's like, dude, I talk like that at home with my family when we're playing Monopoly, which we did play Star Wars Monopoly before this. That's how that's just how I get when I'm intense with stuff like that.
Yeah,
but just because some people are like that doesn't mean others are. Jarbo, he's just talking about things, and he's a YouTuber just like anybody else, so he's going to talk about what's relevant, what's going on, and what's going to get clicks. Okay, but that doesn't mean that he has some kind of responsibility to have a one-on-one or engagement with other people like that. Now, if you want to say, well, I think that's cowardly, or I think that's this, that's that, that's fine. But that's his prerogative not to. And I don't think, constant mocking of it, like basically literally calling him a pussy basically for not doing it is, to me, ends up being a little childish and a little sophomore. And it's just not, I think it's not necessary, and maybe once. Okay. But when it's like every time, you know what I mean? It's like, come on now. What are you? Where is the end road? What's the end goal of this? Is the end goal to humiliate them out of YouTube?
And we expect them to. That's sort of a definition, I think, vaguely of being crazy, if I'm not mistaken. If you expect change that never comes,
no, I wouldn't go crazy. He's not.
Well, I'm just saying, Jeremy has a way of speaking that I think is not one that he is going to change, because I recall him saying a while back that he used to not be so outspoken and vocal in his videos, and once he became that way, it felt really good. And I don't think that would be something he'd take away, because he gets, there's therapy to being able to express the real self on your videos and on your YouTube channel. And I feel like deep down, that what you see from behind the scenes to in front of the scenes. You see Jeremy in all his Jeremy-ness, and he can be a douchebag to people. He can be a jerk, and he can be whatever people want to call him, but he's real. He's very real.
Frat boy Chad. Can I call him a frat boy Chad?
Oh no!
I mean, you can call him whatever you want.
He's gonna say, send me that link, Longa. You watch out.
Send me that link. Send me. You're gonna call me a frat boy.
But if you do call him something, you got to expect a punchback.
Oh, no, I get it, because I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I'm the same way. I understand that completely.
Get a lot better than you think.
No.
In real life.
I never said I wouldn't get along with Jeremy. That's the thing, and that's the misconception that people have, because they think because I've made a couple videos about the way certain people behave online and as far as content creators on how the methods they use. I talk about that, and they think, oh, he's a TFM hater. He hates Jeremy. He hates these people. Whatever. Like I said, literally, if you looked at my videos, I very rarely have brought up Jeremy's name. I made a video about Walton and Mike with the article. I made that video, and even someone in the chat was saying how, I did tell Lunga that 3PO, you didn't try. If you really pay attention, I didn't really put too much onus on 3PO. I kept saying, you know what? I thought you were being decent. There wasn't really much, but I did say you were asking a question. First, you said you can't talk about the Fandom Menace like it's this whole group, when, if you have a problem with certain things, you need to just talk about those people, not the Fandom Menace, which is going to lead him to talking about certain people.
Yeah.
And when it's so you're leading a horse to water with that. Okay.
Yeah,
and even
it all depends on what you're saying too. I mean, you can't paint with broad strokes on the Fandom Menace, and you can't you are certainly, if there's a single thing that you do want to pick out, people understand, okay, yeah, you're talking about someone, you can talk about that person and not associate that with the entire fandom. So yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you can do that. But you can't crucify
the guy when he says Jeremy's name. and then say, "Oh, and he ran." Well, you're having a stream with 3PO, Max, and
kind of run,
Jarbo,
right? I mean, he did kind of, right?
But he didn't bring up Jeremy at first,
right? And with me and Jarbo were
but
trying.
Is that the point? I'm just saying he did kind of run, didn't he?
Oh yeah, of course.
Again,
I mean,
well, yeah, he did.
I'm just being. I saw it
before I knew that was going to happen. I'll be honest here. I knew as soon as I made that thumbnail, it was going to get eyes, and I told him behind the scenes, "I'm not giving you a choice. I'm removing you from the stream if someone tries to jump on."
I mean,
because I don't want that.
I'm having him on Sunday. I'm having him on Sunday, and I said at the beginning of this thing, I'm not having any of that because
who are you having on Sunday?
Jarbo.
Oh, cool.
I'm having Jarbo.
And I can attest that this was in the works for a while. Matt wanted to speak with him back when the Gray Order was announced. It's not right. It is a coincidence that it's happening now,
right?
Because they've been trying to work at it for a while now.
Yeah, and I'm the kind of person that I know what he did, and I know the whole deal with all that, and I've said in front of him that it was shitty. Okay, but I believe in second chances. I'm that kind of person. And again, I'm a new fucking YouTuber. I haven't even hit my 2nd month anniversary yet. Okay, so who am I to to judge like that? So, but I'll give people a second chance, and I'll talk. Now, what I'm saying is, now people want to come in and comment, say whatever the fuck you want to say. I'm not going to censor anyone. I mean, I'll censor
unless it gets out of line, right?
Yeah, if it gets out of line,
I'll be watching that chat. I'm the mod.
Yeah. The kind of shit that gets YouTube channels banned. I don't want any of that shit in there, obviously. But if you want to comment, if you want to criticize, go right ahead. But I'm not going to have he said so and so's name. Let me in the chat. That's not happening. It's not happening because that's not what this is about. Me and him talking. Okay. Now, if someone wants a voice and say, "Hey, he said something about me, I want to rebut." You want to come on later after he's gone or on another stream with me, you're free to it. I'm not going to sit here and say you can't have a voice either. But Sunday stream, I don't want to hear anything of Matt ran or Daddy's protecting him, because that's not what's happening. That's not what the stream is about.
Ahead of time, right?
Right. And if a topic comes up, I'm not going to say, let's not talk about that because people are going to get mad. I'm not going to do that. That's not right either. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it speaks for itself if he says, if you're talking about it and Jeremy keeps offering, I think he's canceling his own narrative anyway. I don't think he actually has to have a debate with him. He keeps offering, so that's in the public. So
I mean, whenever Jarbo wants to talk to someone, Jarbo will talk to someone.
Right.
I have no control over that, and I'm not going to let my show with him become a way to try to bully him into it. Do that on your own time. Not on my stream. If we set something up, if Jarbo and another party agree and want me to moderate, I'll do it. I don't care.
I am guilty of this myself. That Longa corrected me in this past because I did that to Jeremy to get on a stream with him, and I'm working on it. I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it. It's a YouTube thing. It's a YouTube thing.
Christy just said in the chat, "I'm not calling you daddy." You do not have to. This was a complete.
Daddy.
This name has it's viral, and it was by complete fucking accident.
I called you at first. Well, no. Kitten did, and then I noticed.
Yeah. This goes into what we said earlier when we were talking about kink. My girlfriend calls me daddy. Okay, that's our lifestyle, and she.
Oh, is that the kink we were talking about earlier?
That's part. It's part of it. Yeah.
Here.
But at any rate.
Okay.
When I stream, sometimes she'll like sneak in here underneath the green screen.
He's not great. He's not great with that. Woo!
And but she didn't realize I was live. She thought I was off. I was on with Max and Angus, and she thought she was saying it quietly because she was saying something to me. She was like, "Stop it!" And they heard it, and they're like, "Daddy!" And from there, it's just like I have no control over it anymore. I do not expect anyone to call me daddy, so don't worry about that.
That's probably a good thing. I think you probably get in trouble if that were the case.
That's a little weird if I expected people to call me that.
Yeah, you might get some. You might get some you might get some haters.
Yeah. No. It's not expected. People do it now just because it's a moniker and it's funny. But Darth Lunga is fine. My author name GA is fine too. So
I will call myself out on something. The reason I'm doing a lot of I'll call her by her real name, Mecha Random 42 videos lately, is I think it adds to the conversation. And in my defense of Matt, try to put yourself in Matt's shoes, because I think of her reaction for a pebble thrown at her. What if she had what people were doing to him years ago? Constant videos before the kill stream. I remember that time. I felt really bad for him. For someone with mental health issues, which I personally have, I'm also I'm a mental health advocate. And some of the other topics I want to cover that are really serious are the perception of racism in these movements, and mental health, and spending a lot of your time on YouTube and Twitter to your own mental health and your own health detriment.
I think the idea of covering racism is a great thing, because that word has been muddled down to nothingness. It's lost the point behind it.
I'm struggling
it's unfortunate because a lot of the time, you know, a lot of the Fandom Menace people are accused of it.
Right.
And I have to say, I've yet to come across one that I've spoken to that I'm like, yeah, that person, yeah, that's a racist. No, I've been called one myself also.
Well, that's what I want
to. B-level called me one.
Well,
I'm just saying. I feel like tossing that word around, it's lost its value. So of course it's not big of a deal anymore. But it still bothers so many people that get called it all the time.
Right. Just to give you a preview, is you also can't be playing, being offended yourself when you use a lot of the racial humor.
Yeah. So
if you use it and then you're saying you shouldn't be offended by my jokes, but then you get offended that you're called it, what are you doing, bro? I mean, and that's a criticism of my friends. That's why I've put this one off, because I don't want to criticize some of my friends. Yeah. And it's hard. It's a hard topic. I'm trying, and I struggle to be articulate myself. That's why I have Lunga here to handle this correctly, a fair, balanced way, without getting people too heated, because it's needed, and it's a needed topic. And you can't be surprised and get so offended when someone calls you it, when you like that type of humor. You'd be like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. I think you should, I think maybe pull back a little, brush a little bit of the criticisms off. When I'm not saying everyone uses that type of humor in the Fandom Menace either. I'm not making that broad brush. I'm saying, but the trending thing to do is use a lot of that light humor.
There's also the one thing I noticed too is like, and I get where it's coming from too. It's like, we're not being racist, and I don't believe that, you know, people in the Fandom Menace are racist. I mean, if there are, it's a very small number, and it's not the content creators.
It's not the ones that you would deem leaders. That's for sure.
Right, exactly, precisely. That's what I'm getting at. It's the Twitter following, and you know, people who just.
I stay away from all of that. That's that's why, honestly, like, I don't know a lot of the beef behind the scenes with you guys or with anybody regarding the Fandom Menace or people or like with Mecha. I like Mecha. I'm a subscriber. I enjoy her. I enjoy her content. I enjoy a lot of I watch almost everybody that I subscribe to, and I have a ton of people I subscribe to. I've got a playlist that just doesn't end, it feels like.
Okay. I subscribe to everyone, but that's my goalpost. I have not subscribed to her. Sorry.
Okay.
But that's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I did try watching whenever she's.
I think she's great. I like her perspective on a lot of things. That's what I look for when I subscribe to people. I look for a lot of perspective, because it's kind of boring to have the same one all the time. So I like rounding it out with a lot of different people. Right. And that's kind of why I subscribe to you too, Grey Order. You know.
I subscribe right back.
It's pretty awesome.
I saw you did. And I subscribed right back.
The other thing that was a kind of a moment to me that like hurt me is, if we are here for fandom, like John talks, he said it's not our responsibility to help heal fandom. We're just here for this. And I think everyone should be able to make money. But I think that's where I'm getting. This is why I went with the Grey Order and Darth Lunga, is I do want to help. I'm not just throwing out heat just to throw it out. I think there's a lot of people that do that. I am throwing heat out to critique myself, and so we all move better on a better path. Everybody. Me too.
That's a good goal for 2020.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Mean, I think everybody, and it includes me, if I say something here and there, I haven't been around long enough for it. But I mean, if I say something to everyone needs a little criticism.
All right.
It humbles you.
But not to be called necessarily a racist. I mean, if you guys called, if either of you called somebody a racist in the past that was not a racist, but did it in an angry way, would you be willing to just say, I shouldn't have called that person a racist? I mean, that would go a long way with some people that don't feel like that was an accurate description of them.
I completely understand, because it's happened to me.
Right.
I get it.
If the trending thing though is to always exercise your rights ahead of what my perception is that sometimes people exercise their rights ahead of treating the person humanely, and then you're upset about the perception. You got to see it coming. You can't be playing dumb and shocked at the perception either. I think a lot of people, what did you call me? You're offended there, but then you're saying, why are you so offended by my jokes? So that's my point. I mean, but I'm gonna go. That's gonna be a whole another video. Because I want to make sure I approach it right, because it's a hard one. It's a hard one.
I mean, listen, you're right that the word's been watered down, and a lot of words have been watered down. It's not just that one. Okay, it is, and because before there were times where we knew what a racist was. Okay, and then we knew there was just classless jokes. You know what I mean? Like, just be like, people like, oh dude, really, you have to go there. But that's where then it's like, I know you're not a racist, but that doesn't sound good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was like, people understood that. Okay. But because they're pushing back so hard and they want to change the paradigm, and they want to change that people have to really understand how bad this is and how painful it is, that we have to change this. And the only way they knew how to do that is to shift the definition that you are now a racist for the smallest of things that are not, the intent is not racism. The intent could be a multitude of things. It could just be language you've always had and you've said, and everyone around you prior to 2016 didn't really mind. And I can't, well, not everyone, because a lot of people did, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. But at the same time, we do got to understand that this is the new reality. Okay. Yeah. It is the new reality. And while I'm not saying we have to censor ourselves, sometimes doubling down on it just because it's like, like a kid does when they tell you not to do something and they double down on it purposely, because like, you're not telling me what to do, even though I know it's wrong. Just because now at this point, if you're saying I'm going to call you a racist, you're calling me a racist, then I'm going to purposely try to offend you, even though I'm not a racist, just because you're calling me that. So I'm going to offend you just because you're offending me by calling me that. And then it becomes a game of tick and tack. And it's like, that gets nowhere. At the end of the day, it doesn't solve anything. It just creates more problems.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I think streams like this are really great for people to have access to and to become a part of. More people need to do stuff like this, because I think that the idea of the fandom, or the fandom menace in general, could be it's grown exponentially over the last year or so. I mean, it's picked up random people like me that probably I just never thought I'd ever be associated with something called the Fandom Menace, but I love it. I love being a part of it. It's great. It feels
you came for the fun and for friends and friendship and all that. I feel
and camaraderie.
Yeah.
I have to say camaraderie more than anything, because a lot of people never wanted to. A lot of people didn't talk about the stuff that I was interested in my real life circles, and this is the stuff that I'm really interested in. And like all of my girlfriends, like my real life girlfriends, they're into things that are not quite. I grew up around boys and sci-fi culture, and it's just tough, People are like, you don't seem like you're a nerd. I'm like, come on my channel. Yes.
Well, props to you for coming in to represent. It was just going to be us two tonight, but I really enjoy. our interactions have been fun.
I'm down with bridge building. I'm totally down with bridge building.
Max, be honest. You brought her in for diversity, okay? Just be honest.
I'm not that diverse. I mean, I look tan, but I'm
forcing
still
women
white
on
as
the
a vanilla
public for
bean.
diversity.
Yeah.
I bring all the Fandom Menace ladies.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
No.
I have to say, I think your channel is entertaining as all hell. I mean,
Well,
you bring the fire. In many ways,
honest,
it's entertaining.
This is always what I wanted.
Uh-huh.
I mean, besides the boycott for episode 9, which he disagrees with me about. Longa does not agree with me about that, I don't think. Besides that, about boycotting Star Wars episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
No. I mean, no. Here's the thing. When I say I don't agree, I'm not saying you don't have a right to you know, protest with your wallet. You have every right to do that. I'm just saying, give it a shot. I was just trying to convince you to give it a shot. That's all. So but I'm not saying you can't. I mean, it's your wallet. You can protest whatever you want with your wallet.
So those were my goals. Was that, which did not really happen the way I wanted it to, which was where I started to get upset with the movement. Beyond the other things we've covered in this video. And then my other goal was to get a war council or different opinions, which Longa has been really helping without. We've been having some really great streams with Star Wars only. We got Peyton Place on. We had Matt Jarbo on at the same time, I think. That was great. It was all kinds of different people in the same room, and we were being civil. And it was just, this is the type of content I want to see, even if I wasn't including myself, because I'm not a leader. I just wanted to join something that I'm with my friendship with Darth Longa, I finally feel like I belong somewhere with the Great Order.
Aw, Max.
No, I'm serious. I'm happy that you found your place, Geeky Candy. This is where I feel my place is, and I'm happy that these conversations.
You call me Candace. How's that?
Candace.
My friends call me Candace. People who don't know me call me Geeky Candy.
But I finally feel like I belong somewhere, and I'm not a leader. I'm not articulate. I just go hard sometimes. I maybe some.
You do not have to be articulate to be a leader. Mad Max, let me be the first to say, you do not have to be articulate to be a leader. You have to have something people like to watch and like to listen to. And articulation is not a key to that. If I've learned anything on my short stint on YouTube, boy, articulation is one of the least favorable qualities I think people have. People want real. People want real. They want passion. That's what they want to see on YouTube, and when they follow people, you got that in spades. So yeah. Well,
I'll tell you what.
That's the first thing when I told you, Max. Remember when we first started talking about it? I told you, listen, don't lose your passion. Yeah. Don't lose your passion and your character and the way you keep that.
And let me still call you Diet Doomcock, and don't get pissed about it because I do. I make fun of all.
Doomcock doesn't got nothing on me. Just wait for 2020.
I'm still gonna call you it.
I don't care.
Don't hate me for it.
I don't believe it.
I don't know. I don't know if you know, Candace, that me and him started talking because he came after me.
Yeah.
Literally a week after I started my show. Because like, you're not answering me. And he came after me. And
just like I did to Jeremy. Just like I did to Jeremy.
I have a response video, and I called him a second-rate Doom.
Josh put me in check too. He still hasn't really talked to me yet. Like he gives little feelers like, I see you're trying. I still have to earn my spot, I guess, to actually be on. I'm not saying I really want to be on the main stage. I just like this. I like being on Darth Longa's channel. If you want to see the most passion I've seen in a long time, go check out Darth Longa's Twitter when he opened his box with his novel. It touched my heart.
Publicize me crying.
No, it was so passionate. I loved it. I mean, it was real. I was like, wow, this is really great. I'm serious. Check out that Twitter moment. It was so special. And that's why I was like, yeah, I could team up with this guy. He's great. And I like you too, Candace.
Oh, you're sweet. I still hold my judgment about you, but yeah.
Fair enough.
We'll take it day by day. I'll just put it that way.
All right.
No, but I appreciate you bringing me on. I am not one. I want people that have these thoughts about Geeks and Gamers specifically. The Fandom Menace, I guess, secondarily, to know that there are people that are not out there to just criticize and to hate. My channel, I have positive Disney stuff, I have negative Disney stuff. I'm an objective person by nature. I don't like I'm first of all, I used to be an English teacher, so I approach everything from a kind of like, especially like breaking down movies and shows. There's different things I look for, and it makes my perspective different. And yeah,
She
I like.
can't read my book.
What book? What book?
My novel.
Oh, you have a novel. Oh,
it releases in February. This is the Kickstarter editions that I'm sending out. I just got this, but it releases in February. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well,
yeah, that was his main goal. He just fell into this YouTube.
Yeah, this YouTube thing was a complete fucking accident. I wasn't supposed to do this.
Yeah,
but I think he's got a bright future. I really see it. I like this. I like to scout out different. That's why I sub to everyone. I sub to mostly everyone, and I'm like, oh man, you got a great voice for fandom. I think Star Wars Only is an important voice too. I really like my conversation with Peyton Place. I hope I could talk to her again, because she put me in check too. She's like, no, let's hear this more positive, and she defended the Fandom Menace.
Who said that? Who?
Peyton Place. She defended the Fandom Menace. She's like, on that stream, she was like, I don't like where this is going. You don't talk about everyone in the Fandom Menace that way. She corrected us when we were on the council together. So I really want to work with her again, because she puts me in check.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to go on too much longer. I do want to say that I am going to try to cover those topics, including because one of my other goals is my family and I personally have a lot of mental issues. So I see a lot of things happening, which could you got to know your limits, including myself. And a lot of this Twitter and YouTube life, it goes past the point where I say you maybe should take it easy, pull back a little bit.
It consumes your time and parts of your soul,
well,
and it's no good.
No, I'm not naming people out. I'm just saying, I said you need to rest. You need to take a step back. I want to talk to you, but I think I saw some people possibly having an issue, and I said, and we were like, take a rest, take a step back. And then I see them popping up everywhere. And it's like, this is dangerous for you. And I'm the first to admit, something I've learned since streaming is the more you're online, the more likely it is that you'll make a mistake. So we have to be a little bit forgiving of people too. Point it out for sure, but the more time you spend on here, the more likely something's going to happen. So that's the point I'm also going to make in that. About mental health.
I can understand that. I'll just say that I have a fairly thick skin, and I have had people say really stupid stuff to me on Twitter. People who obviously don't know me, or they just say something random, and it's fine. I know there's so many people on Twitter. You're going to come across, especially as you gain followers. I think I'm approaching 2,000, and I started my very first Twitter October of last year. Okay. I literally know nothing of the Twitter sphere. I started my YouTube channel in October of last year as well. So I'm quite the newbie, but I'm very comfortable in the skin that I'm in. I'm very comfortable with my opinions. I'm thankful I have a place that I can actually express my real self, because I've had to keep kind of the things I'm passionate about hidden for so long. And I just have to say, there's so many people that are passionate just as I am, but because of the way they say things, perhaps that passion is looked at as hatred or anger. And it's just not, it's like, it's criticism and done in passion. It's out of love. Usually for something, it's not that someone wants like Star Wars to fail. I certainly do not want Star Wars to fail. I have sons. I'm a boy mom. My son loves Star Wars. I want to continually watch it with him as I grow old, and go to movies with him as I did with my family. I want that to continue. So my criticisms, as are other people's criticisms, are coming from a place of passion in our hearts. And it's not, we do not want it to fail. It's not about the clickbait. I did really great with my Mandalorian videos, and I love the Mandalorian. Okay. I had no qualms about it. People, when I first started doing them, I was nervous because I was like, how is this going to be received? After seeing so much negativity surrounding Star Wars, it was a very pleasant surprise. And I think it'd be even more of a pleasant surprise if we had more good things to say about Star Wars. and people are still going to click on it. I have a feeling. So
my Mandalorian videos are my worst performing ones, but I think it's because I think I know why. It's because I was just like, they were uploads. So I was just like recording it and saying, so this happened. And I don't think my personality comes through on those. And that's
I did live stream. Because it's just a fresh reaction at 3 a.m., man. It's it's something to behold. I was excited, tired, and people got a weird look at the weird version of me. And those live streams probably, I don't know. But yeah, I think a lot of times our passion is mistaken for hatred or anger, just because of how we come across. But it's really a deep-seated passion that causes us to say those things, and it's because we truly want it to be as great as we remembered it to be. I sometimes wonder what's worse: remembering what it was, and not having it now, or being somebody who never knew what it once was and only seeing what it is now. You know, like people who've never seen the originals, but have only seen or never really watched the sequels, but they've only seen this. Well, this is the taste they have of it now. And if they're not interested enough in it now, they'll never look what came before it. And that's so sad to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. I mean, if I have to say anything, like I said, no one, I mean, unless they just completely are just hating just to hate. Anyone with a rational mind doesn't believe that the Fandom Menace is just out there to hate. There's lots of people in the greater Discord who identified as Fandom Menace prior, and they still haven't changed their opinions on the movies. And in their voice, the reason why some of them have moved away from the Fandom Menace is because every video just started to become so much negativity that they started getting like, Jesus. So that's what bothered them. And that's what we're trying to do with the Gray Order. It's not about saying you guys are wrong and need to shut up. It's not saying you guys are fake fans. It's not saying you don't have a passion. You do, and it's apparent. We just want to try to bring back a civil discourse into it, and also not just have this constant stream of negativity and almost, at times monetization of negativity, because that's what's bringing in the clicks.
Yeah, I to me, I can understand a lot of people saying it's negativity, but again, when you're passionate about something and you do keep wanting to put your opinion out there, if it's a negative opinion, but it comes from a place of honesty, then how can anyone say that you can't be the one to push that?
Well, I mean, hear me. I hate The Last Jedi. I can't stand The Last Jedi.
Hey, you're in good company.
Okay, right. But here's the thing: when I argue about The Last Jedi, I talk about first of all, I'm not a film student. Okay, there's Star Wars Only is a film student. Josh went to film school.
Yeah.
Jarbo went to film school. I'm not a film student. Okay, I'm an amateur, but I do write. I am a writer. I understand certain things that are just bad writing or lazy writing. Okay, so I'll criticize. In The Last Jedi, I saw a lot of lazy writing. I saw a lot of characters that could have been used better. That the problem wasn't the character or the actor. All the characters and actors could have been there, but used better, and they weren't.
Agree 100%.
Right. So that's how I see it. Now, what I don't do is Disney has an agenda. They're trying to push this on people. They're trying to change the narrative. They're trying to do that. That's what I don't do, because it's a pointless argument. You know what I mean? And Disney's Disney, and Hollywood has always pushed a more liberal view of things.
If you come out with a shirt saying the Force is female, you kind of are promoting that ideal. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm being objective here. I was not a part of the Fandom Menace in The Last Jedi. I didn't have to be a part of the Fandom Menace in The Last Jedi to think there was an agenda being put out there.
Right. But here's the thing. Let's say Rian Johnson didn't direct that movie. Okay. Let's say Lucas directed it. Okay. Let's say Lucas directed it. Same characters, written better. And Kathleen Kennedy was still up there with the Force's female shirt. Is there a narrative? You're taking correlation is not causation. Okay, they do not equal
The
correlation does
problem
not
is,
equal
though, when you
causation.
put a female character in the lead and dull out every other character beside her to increase her ability to be a lead. That bothers me. You literally back of the bust the diverse characters, and that pisses me off. You literally, it bothers me because someone who preaches diversity, such as Disney, and then to do that shows a major hypocrisy to me. I don't feel like they started out strong in The Force Awakens with a lot of things. I thought Finn's character had a great arc it could have taken.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Arc.
I agree with you.
And it just seems so stereotypical what they did to him in a few different ways, and it made me kind of upset because I like John Boyega. I think he's a great actor. I enjoyed it. I would love for him to have a spinoff of something, but he doesn't want anything to do with Disney anymore. I don't blame him. I'm saying there's a lot of things like that happened, that it doesn't have to matter who it is at the helm of it. There's obviously things coming down from up above somewhere in Disney that's pushing certain things to promote that the Force's female ideology, and it bothers me.
Here's the thing. We got to look at everything separately, okay? Because The Last Jedi, and I'm telling you, The Last Jedi was a Rian Johnson movie. It wasn't a Star Wars movie, okay? It was a Rian Johnson movie. And if Rian didn't say the things he did prior to the movie coming out, if Rian didn't say the things he did when people complained about the movie, if Rian wrote a better fucking script, okay, all of this would not have been as it was.
Yeah, I didn't even know about Rian Johnson. I didn't pay attention to Rian Johnson before I even saw that movie.
Out before the movie.
I didn't even know I didn't know his relationship to fans. I didn't know any of that stuff. This is right when I started to become wise to what was going on in the Star Wars culture, and I didn't know any of that. And I still had the same opinion.
Someone to blame for all this, it's not necessary. I mean, you can say
blaming Disney. I'm blaming Disney. I think that's a fair, objective thing to point my finger to.
You can say the onus of eventually falls on Disney, the parent company.
That's where I blame. That's where I say I blame Disney for doing this.
What happened in The Last Jedi was not a Disney agenda. It was a Rian Johnson agenda. And Kathleen Kennedy, because she's friends with Rian Johnson, let him do it. That's what happened. Okay.
So you're saying that they had a course correction from The Force Awakens that early on?
In my opinion, it's
she let Rian Johnson throw out JJ's outline. She's like, okay, you do what you want to do.
I agree.
That's what happened.
I agree, Candace. It's definitely there, the agenda. Especially, that's one of the most movies. I think that you could literally have a conversation about it. Whereas other movies that are critiqued,
Tiger talks about it all the time.
All right, but as a whole,
he talks about it now too.
That is. I mean, it's a major problem in the movie, but it's not it's a problem in the movie, but it's not the biggest problem of that movie. If they actually introduced these characters and they worked, I think we should say okay. But they failed. They failed. They put the characters in. They failed, and then it was at the detriment to the OG characters.
Yeah, but
there's the story and everything else. It was the major issues.
To me, if it was an agenda, it would have been a very apparent theme in The Force Awakens.
So why was Leia kept around when she shouldn't have been in the second one? She should have been Holdo and did that little fun Holdo maneuver and died that way. Come out like a badass instead of dying of a forced overdose.
I don't disagree with you.
Because they didn't want Luke to train Leia. Why would that be the case? Why do you think that's the case? Sorry, I'm upset and I'm not mad at you. This is my passion.
I understand.
I'm just letting everybody know. I was so furious when I read the Jedi Praxis leaks. I was so furious. I could barely get through them. And just when I talk about it, this is my passion. And I just apologize if it comes off as volatile. It's just me.
You're fine. I honestly, I just get tired of talking about The Last Jedi, but I like your passion. I'm just like, at this point, I've talked about so much. I'm like, but I love what you're saying though. I like listening to you. It's just I can't add much to this part. Sorry.
I know it's like
I'm exhausted.
A dead space horse. You know.
Right. I've made a lot of videos myself talking about. I'm like, I can't talk about it anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Sorry, but yeah, I understand. I understand where you're coming from. It's just my Leia, Carrie Fisher too was not in a position, I think, health wise, to be pushed to make it to 3 movies anyway. I feel like the natural course for a lot of things was to have her go out as a in a sacrificial kind of way in the second one, but to keep her around just because she was the medium in which, that Rey was going to get her Jedi training to bypass Luke just felt it felt cheap, and it felt forced.
Right. Well, again, here's the thing. It all ends up going back to The Last Jedi and Rian Johnson. I mean, if you take out
should I be pointing my finger at Rian Johnson? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. You should be pointing a finger at Rian Johnson, because I said this in my Rise of Skywalker. Now, I was okay with the Rise of Skywalker because I think JJ did the best he could with what was the shitstorm that was handed to him. Okay. Now, could there have things been better that he could have? Yeah. But the thing I see is this. If you look at the Rise of Skywalker, it was 2 movies in one. Okay. What you saw was JJ's original outline for The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, all pushed into one movie. And then he tried to weave it into what Ryan already did. Okay. That's what you saw. Now, if you took the entire outline and it was planned out correctly, and they actually didn't rush everything like they did because they had to get their return of investment the moment they bought it. Okay. If you took JJ's outline, now, would it have been the best Star Wars movie ever? No, it's JJ Abrams. You could, people hate him, people love him.
I still think if he had access to all 3 of them, that it could have been far better. It would have been a more coherent storyline.
Exactly.
At the very least.
Right, exactly. Now, I'm not saying we would have came out loving it, that it was the best thing since Empire, but it wouldn't have been as bad as people are looking at it. Okay. So that's the reason why I say it's not an agenda. Now, are there certain people in Disney that might want to be pushing agenda? Yeah, there are people in every company.
Did you read the Gizmodo article from the UK Gizmodo article about a month ago? Kathleen Kennedy and Michelle Rejwan literally said that there are many times that they basically confront JJ all the time to get what they want. I'm not even kidding.
People tend to forget that Lucas is the one that hired her, not Disney.
I don't forget that, and I don't that's why I said I point to Disney in general, because Luke and Lucasfilm, LucasArts, obviously. I'm just like there's a lot of people at play here, and I'm one of the few people that'll tell you I'm pissed at George about that too. Yeah, I'm not
but be honest. About that choice. Do you really think Bob Iger wanted this fucking shitstorm?
Oh God, I don't. I for his shareholders, hell no. But
exactly. Now, is there always in Hollywood? Is there always going to be some of a liberal agenda? There always has been since its inception.
And it's a shame. Okay? It's a shame.
Well, here's the thing.
And cheapen a story.
But before it used to not cheapen a story,
and it doesn't make it timeless. That's the problem. Right. Put the date stamp on it.
Yeah. I understand. But that's why I say it's not this deep state conspiracy that, the company and all its shareholders and Bob Iger and all the CEOs and everybody are trying to do this. They're not. It's Kathleen Kennedy came in, George Lucas hired her, and she's like, oh, well, I guess this is my toy now. I can do what I want. And what she should have did is just been president, be the money person, be the marketing person. She could have still made her Forces fucking female shirts if she wanted to, but put someone in who knows what they're doing as creative. Okay.
Yeah, that's the problem. It feels like there wasn't he even handed her all the material, all the source materials to pull from. And you have Bob Iger pretty much saying, nah, it didn't happen. And that's why I'm like, there's plenty of blame to go around, not just Rian Johnson. You know what I mean? Because
but that's the core. That's the core. Meaning if that didn't happen, okay, everything else, while still might be some controversy and still be people not happy with it, it wouldn't have been to this level. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was a fucking
Oh, I agree. It put it on blast for sure. It put a highlight on the issues in it for sure, because it was a huge departure from The Force Awakens.
Right. Like while people like The Force Awakens, there was obviously criticisms after The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Okay. From Star Wars fans. But it wasn't like, oh my God, what's happening? You know what I mean? It was like, I didn't like that. I didn't like this. This could have been better. But it was a Star Wars movie. You know what I mean? I got to see something. So if they would have stuck with that, still could have had Kathleen Kennedy, still had, you know, everything else going on. And if they would have stuck with JJ's outline, okay, none of this would have been that bad. At the end of this trilogy, people would have said, it could have been better. But I got some Star Wars. You know what I mean? That's why I say, while no, he's not the only reason, he is the main reason.
Yeah. Well,
Okay?
I believe he's a catalyst. I think he's a catalyst, if anything, because
he got
it really
the fervor going, and I'm sure, you know, and when Kathleen was talking to him, because they're friends, he probably got her riled up. She's like, oh my God, this is gonna be so awesome. You know what I mean? So that's what happened. It was these two knuckleheads that did this. Now, again, with saying that, I don't think Kathleen Kennedy is a bad a CEO and bad producer, because she has a long career.
There's a lot of people. There's a high turnover rate, at least with Star Wars.
Well, again, we're talking about now. I'm just saying.
Okay, all right. You're talking total career. Okay, all right.
Career.
I'm sorry. I'm new to the game. I'm talking. I know her from Star Wars. I don't know her entire, you know, history.
You know, her career.
I'll agree
her
with you.
career is pretty distinguished. She's done a lot of good things. Okay.
Yeah, I know she was on ET. That's about it.
Yeah, right. But what I'm saying is, with Lucasfilm and when Disney bought it, this is the most power she's had. Okay. So that's where I think because she kind of figured that she was George's heir apparent when he gave her the presidency. I think she felt like, you know, this is my baby now, and this, you know what I mean? So I trust Rian Johnson. He's going to be okay, because I like him. He's a friend of mine, so I trust him. So he's going to give me something good. And in the end of the day, they're going to look at the money, and they brought in the money. Let's be fair. It brought in the money. Okay. Could it have brought in way more money if they pleased more fans? Yes, but it still brought in enough money to make it very viable. Okay. So when it comes to shareholders, the money problem, they're like, well, it did what it needed to do. Now, is Star Wars obviously capable of doing way more? Definitely. You know, there's no reason why it shouldn't do way more. But that's why I'm being positive, because as far as what's going on with Disney Plus, what's going on with The Mandalorian, and what's going on with the people involved with that, and where the direction is going, I'm very positive. I'm one of those
I'm all about Favroni. That's what I call Favreau and Filoni.
Did you see my I had one video, I titled it, after the Deborah Chow episode, I called it Chow Roloni.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's like a good pasta dish.
This is the three-headed monster that's gonna like bring Star Wars back, you know, with them three. But you know, I see good things coming. So I look at this as a blip, you know. Now again, that's no way saying that Phantom Menace or anyone that shouldn't complain about things they didn't like. We all should be allowed to complain about things we didn't like. At the end of the day, I just think it's just like sometimes there's too much focus put on stuff that's diverting away from the fandom itself. That's my only argument.
All right.
I'm sorry, my dog. The more I've been streaming, my dog has been acting up.
It's okay. We had a nice little chat.
Max, we were enjoying ourselves, and then you just popped back on. What the hell, man? I'm just kidding.
That works for Max makes my job easy. That's the other reason I like Darth Daddy coming on. He's like, okay, run the show. He likes me Daddy.
Coming on because he knows I don't shut up, so I can keep it going. There's no dead air with me.
Right.
Well, I have to say this was a very interesting conversation. I'd love to continue it again sometime. I do have to go head off to my bed and catch some Z's before tomorrow.
Hey, respect.
And I'll throw it out there. You're welcome on my channel anytime.
Well, thank you. I'm not by nature. I'm a bridge builder. I always been that way. I hate drama, and I'm new to this. I'm new to all of this, and I think starting off in a corner against other people in other corners is not my route, at least in my YouTube ness. So
that's fair. There's new people coming in that have no idea about the history, including me. I mean, like I said, I'm not innocent. I'm trying to improve. So mad respect for you coming on with two gray guys.
Lots of gray. I've gotten more in the last month since I've been doing this. It's been sprouting everywhere. We were joking around, and his
reactions are so hilarious. He's like, "Oh my goodness!" He does the literal Jeremy thumbnail thing with the "Oh my god,
I love
especially when
that
it's your-
one. I
when it's
love
your-
that. I want to put that on one of my videos that I put up for Geeks and Gamers, but then everyone be like, damn it, it's not Jeremy. So I can't do it. That would be literally clickbaiting them, and I
So-
can't do it.
Go subscribe to Candace at Geeky Candy, and I
Yeah.
gotta check out some of your gaming videos.
Well,
haven't
I
checked-
just put up a poll today. Glad you mentioned it. I finished Fallen Order end of last year.
Ooh.
Fantastic. I'm not
I
gonna give.
still-
I'm not gonna say
I
anything.
still
But
need
the
to get
ending,
it.
the ending made me actually. I actually cried a little bit. Happy
Oh,
tears.
wow.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wonderful. So yeah, I just put a poll out, and I just wrapped up the Witcher series, and apparently it's kind of popular. People are wanting me to do Witcher 3 game, and that's like 60 hours of gameplay. So I'm gonna be busy for a little
Yeah.
while getting through that one.
Do you do just console or you play PC?
I just do PS4 now, but I just got monetized, and I'm hoping to save for a gaming PC because I'd love to expand what I can do with that.
I just built mine and I've been playing Overwatch. If you play Overwatch at all, hit me up.
Yeah.
If you get the PC.
Oh, I
I'll
would
play
love.
Overwatch.
I'd love to get a gaming PC for things like that. Yes, and just
You
to play
can-
like Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic again. I used to have a gaming PC.
You can build them pretty cheap. The one I built it only cost me, and it's a pretty beastly, and it only cost me $600 to buy it when you buy the parts and put it
Nice.
together yourself. So
Well, hopefully I'll get there soon. That's my goal. Anyway, that's what my first big purchase is going to be. That, and it's gonna be epic. I'm excited. I want to build a computer so bad. So
it's fun. It's fun.
yeah,
I need to get back into gaming. I have a PS4, so I need to get that game though. Fallen Order. I haven't.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I've been,
I got it.
I've been spending. You know the legit thing. There's like all kinds of Indiegogos and stuff I want to back, and all kinds of. I've been spending all my money on masks. All my extra. I have some cool ones coming.
Well, there you go. There you go. Yeah. So I do that, and I also do first person shooters. I love first person shooters. The Call of Duty right now, Modern Warfare, but the next Battlefield that comes out, I'll be all over that. So that's kind of like
cool.
my thing. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you guys are always welcome to hop on. Come in my chat. Don't be scared. I'll be nice to you. I promise. I don't bite. I will call you names maybe, but it's usually endearment that I do it in. So just
All right.
And I do
Considering
cut.
all my kids. I mean, when I say kids, they're all adults. I have a 25-year-old, a 22-year-old, and a 21-year-old. But the way they talk with me, I'm kind of used to it. So don't worry about it.
I just have B level with my dogs.
Jesus
There you go.
Christ.
Shout out to B level. That's my boy.
All right. Well, you guys have a great night, and it was a pleasure.
Nice talking
Thank
to you, Candace.
Yeah,
All right.
thanks
Bye.
a lot.
Have a good
I
night.
appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. I think this was great. I liked it. It wasn't
Yeah.
where I was expecting to go, but she said on Twitter, she's like, "Hey, you never send me links." That's true. She's talked to me directly. I'm like, okay. I like that. I like Candace.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've listened to her talk too before, and I mean, I haven't watched a lot of all her videos, but I've watched a few, and I've watched her when she's been on other streams. She is more she is one of the more level-headed content creators. Not saying that the rest of you are fucking off your rocker, but I'm just saying she's one of the more level-headed ones. So I mean, when you said she was coming in, I'm like, no, this will be a fine conversation. I don't see.
I think over these past few weeks, Darth Lunga has proved he's here for fandom, and he wants to try. It's a hard task. He wants to try to repair fandom with having these these are hard conversations. It's not like I don't know. I'm kind of exhausted myself, and I have to limit myself on that mental health thing I meant. That's for me too. Like these long streams tire me because I get so wrapped up in the conversation that I can't sleep afterwards. So we had a great conversation. I want to say good night to everyone, and go sub to the Grey Council right now.
Yes,
Really.
please go just to search Grey Council. I do have one more thing I want to pop up, Max.
Okay,
Because,
sure.
I did talk
You
to
deserve it.
About Le Book. So guys, if you do enjoy fantasy, I am an author, and I just got my first book out. It's the one that's behind me. But it's Souls of Magic's Dawn. It's a fantasy novel. My inspirations are Tolkien, Martin, Dragonlance, if you read that kind of stuff. The book is up for pre-sale right now. It releases February 22nd. This is my true passion, above and beyond this channel, which I still love, don't get me wrong, but this is my like real passion is this book. It's been 15 years in the making, and it's the first in a series, and there's going to be more. So if anyone is interested in fantasy and wants to pick up something, please just search Souls of Magic's Dawn on Amazon. Right now the ebook is up. As you see, says no image available yet. The hardcover and paperbacks still haven't finished processing from Ingram Sparks as far as this goes. So they're there, but it's not showing right. But they'll all be there, and it releases on the 22nd of February, and you can pre-order it now. So if you're into it, please check it out and help support a little bit.
And then we're going to work together on Sunday. I'm just going to be in the chat, I believe. I'm going to try to help keep it civil if what I can. And I'm really interested to hear your one-on-one interview with him.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It should be fine.
What time is that Sunday again for everyone watching?
3 p.m. Central.
Okay. All right.
So
I got to
3 p.m.
remember.
Central, 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, I got to remember.
I mean, I'll pop it up on Twitter too ahead of time, and
yeah, definitely that's going to be an interesting conversation.
All that good stuff. But yeah, like it says, smash like on this video first. Smash like on this video. Subscribe if you're not. Then head over to my channel and subscribe over there.
All right. So good night, everyone. Thanks for joining the conversation. This was a great one. Have a good night. Get some rest.
Good night, guys.
Bye.